What's up guys? It's John. Hey, today I'm taking a look at a really awesome pedal. I'm looking at the Strymon Sunset Dual Overdrive. This pedal is nuts. I mean, it uses analog and digital technology to create 6 different overdrive models that span from clean boost to crunchy drive to full distortion, even all the way to fuzz. And these different modes can be mixed and matched, they can be blended together to create just like endless options. This pedal is truly a overdrive workstation. Let's take a look. Okay guys, Strymon Sunset. Now this is a dual overdrive pedal. And the way to think about this is it's really like 2 overdrive pedals combined into one. Each side has 3 modes that we can choose from. Each side has its own level, drive, and tone controls, so we can really dial in some really specific sounds. Now the way that we can route it is we can go either A into B, we can go B into A, or we can run A and B parallel with one another and actually blend the 2 into one. Now let's take a look at what some of these sound like. I'll just start on the first one, this germanium setting. Here's the clean tone. And side A. At this level, it sounds like it's just adding some nice, just a little bit more crunch to the tone. Turn it up a bit. There, now we're really hearing it. So that germanium setting, just a really nice crunch tone to it. Let's see how it sounds with the drive down low. A lot of these modes have some really distinct sounds when you start to kind of go to the extremes with the drive or the tone controls. You can kind of get some really unique stuff. Let's try something like this as I center it in my camera. I like that mode for going from a more clean sound and just adding a little bit of dirt to it. Now let's take a listen to the Texas. A lot more drive going on with the Texas sound. Real bright, lots of mids. I believe this is the setting that really gets your tube screaming. Now let's kick up the drive a bit. Do something like this. Nice, really like the way that one sounds. Treble, this one's really interesting. This one's doing like a high pass kind of effect where it's really gonna cut back on a lot of the bass and you're gonna get a real trimmed sound from this. Let's set that back there. So already you can hear how much of a difference that is. Let's try to give it a little bit more body here. This treble mode is going to be really useful if you have an amp that tends to be like really bass heavy, this treble sound can help to clean it up really well. It's also going to be a great one to mix with the side B drives, as we'll see in a bit. All right, let's take a look at side B right now. This is the 2-stage drive. Really like how that sounds. Real nice saturation, just real smooth. That's more of like a high gain overdrive, almost like distortion. Let's see how much we can get out of it. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see how bright we can get that. Yeah, great sound. This is the hard setting. Again, a really nice tone. I really like this B side a lot. Really gets you into distortion land here. Gonna turn the drive up. Let's just turn it all the way up. This is a really cool mode. It can kind of get you into fuzz land even when you really get it cranked up. Awesome. Love that mode. Alright, let's take a look at the J-Fet. This one tends to be more of a clean boost, so I'll kind of keep the level up. Car's going out of tune. So yeah, so much less driven than the other settings on the B side. Let's see what happens if we just crank the drive. Let's see how much we get. So not too much overdrive on this one. I think the strength of this is just using it as more of a clean boost. So you could have it off during your rhythm parts and kick it on during your solos. Actually, when you start to really push the amp, you can actually get the amp to break up pretty nice, but the actual pedal itself is pushing a pretty clean tone. Like I said before, the strength of this pedal is really to be able to combine the two different sides together. And there's a switch in the back where you can actually decide, you know, do you go A into B, B into A, or both together. And it's like at this point, you really have sort of like endless combinations because you can mix and match, and then by dialing in different amounts of drive on either side, adjusting the tone, the levels, I mean, there's just so many different sounds that you can get out of this thing. Let's kind of mix and match. Right now I have it set for A into B. I'm just going to do the Texas into the hard. Most things are just kind of set to noon except for the levels, just so I'm not blasting too crazy. This is where we're at right now. Here's A. Here's our B. And then together. We get like a real nice saturated tone, a decent amount of compression, and sustain is also there. Now let's try to really push it, kind of get some crazy sounds here. So you can really get some pretty heavy sounds. Okay, so I've switched the routing, so now it's going B into A. So on the B side, I have it set for the 2-stage, and then that's going into our treble setting on the A side. And the treble setting is going to really clean up a lot of the low end, and it's going to give us a top end boost, especially when this tone is kind of turned up. And let's see what we got here. So here's our drive. This is the B side. Nice full saturated sound. Here's the A side just by itself. A little slimmer tone, a little more bright, less gainy too. And then when they're together, so it sounds pretty great. Now we're going to use the setting where we have A and B in parallel, and we're going to kind of blend two different sides together. On the A, we're going to use the germanium setting, and then on the B side, we're going to use the JFET. Now let's listen to what just the A side sounds like by itself. Real nice crunchy overdriven tone, and then the JFET's going to give us more of a clean kind of boosty sound. Here's just a clean tone and with the JFET. And if I just turn on the germanium side and then add in the JFET, you're going to hear the tone get a lot more body to it, a little more fullness. Here it is right now. I don't notice the JFET so much when I turn it on, but I notice when I turn it off. So listen what happens when I turn it off. So pretty cool. So you can hear how you can really like fine-tune your overdrive sounds by the different routing options. So with this A and B in parallel, we can take a nice sounding drive, pair it with another one in parallel. They're going to work together to really fill out the sound and to create some really rich, real lush sounding drives. Alright guys, there you go. Strymon Sunset Dual Overdrive. Really awesome pedal. Endless creative options here for drive. If you get the chance, definitely check this thing out. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Peace. Okay. I did it, I think.